So in this video I'm going to show you how to put together our little bunny butt box, which is a nice little fun and fast Easter box to put together. So we have that. See how it's just the back of the bunny and then has a little place to put some goodies. So we have these pieces all in the same color. So I'm doing this one in kind of a, I think this is latte. I'll have to double check the color. And then we have the little puffy bunny tail and the little pink portions of the feet. So first we want to go ahead and ink a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and, I'm not going to ink this, but you can pre-fold this. So you can just fold it like that. I like to pre-fold things. We're gonna put, I'm trying to think of what we can put on first. I think we're gonna actually put everything on last. So we can actually glue this together. So let's go ahead and glue this together. Actually, no, what we can do is put this on. So let's go ahead and ink that and we'll put that on. So I was just a little bit indecisive because I like to put things on flat when I can. But this is going to hide tabs, so we can't put it on first and the rest goes after we put this together. So let's go ahead and ink this. So I've already partially inked some of them. On this one, you could use really any ink, but I'm using Powder Puff, which is from Quick Quotes. They still sell it. For a while I couldn't find it, but they are still selling it. And this is, I don't know if they have this color, but I just like the way it blends. So I sometimes use Distress Oxide inks. For this one, I'm going to use this because I've had this forever. And it's breaking apart a little bit, but they're great inks, chalk inks. And I love them. You just can only get them, I think, at their website. So I'm just going to ink it a little bit. So this, I did this already, but we're going to add a little bit more. Just using my little brush, blending brush, and putting a little bit more. So this is going to show on the inside. I don't need to do it really down there. I mean, I can, but it's really not necessary, just the sides. And then this circle piece, which we're going to put on before we assemble the box, which is the bunnies behind. I called this the bunny butt, but I was just being smart at the time. I did. So it just gives it a little bit of a kind of a just ink edges, and defines it. Then we'll do the last foot. So we already did the other foot. So this is optional, you don't have to do this. So if you want to jump ahead to the assembly, you can. Some people ask me details of this, so I like to do it every once in a while in a video to show you. And I'm just using a scrap piece of paper. And today I am mostly using, like I said, American Crafts textured cardstock and Barely Art glue. So once we're done with this, we'll go ahead and start assembling it. It's really fast for the most part. So you want to take the feet first. I'm going to just dump these out. You want to make sure that all the texture side is up if you're using textured paper like I am. And there's 4 that are smaller than the other 2. So you see there's these 4. There's 2 big ones, those go in the middle. And I'll show you so you can see right here. This is how it goes, right there. There's no lines or marks to help you, so what I always say is do this one first. And just, you can see, you want to get it equidistant around. Oops, have a little pin in there. Sometimes it just stops me from the glue from just drying up there. So I'm just going to, it's easier if you put the big one on first. I mean, this is This is arts and crafts, so I'm just looking, make sure the distance is about the same on the side as it is on the bottom, the gap. Then take the two big ones, so these two are the big ones right there, and they're going to go in the middle. And these little ones are going to go right there. So if you know about the size of your little ones, you can add the glue there, or you can add it to the actual pieces. I'm just kind of moving it around. That's the nice thing about wet glue. So this is not a new file. It's just a file that I wanted to recut out some of the bunnies. So I always say, why not improve my video a little bit when I do that? Although my lighting changed. I have a window next to where as of today, I had a window that I'm recording next to, and all of a sudden we got cloudy skies, so it changed my lighting a bit. So hopefully that doesn't affect it too much. So those are the 2 feet. I'm going to put those aside with the tail. Then we're going to take this. So this is already pre-folded, so make sure you're folded. I'm going to go ahead and place it right here before we glue it. So we're going to line it up to the top edge of this. So you can tell by the way we've just lined it up. We're not going to put the feet on yet, or anything else for that matter. See how it just changes the definition of it, having that little ink? So now we're going to go ahead and fold these inwards and glue them on the inside. I'm going to add glue to both sides. Let me just line up this fold where the tab fold is to this edge right here. You can always flip it over, not with that glue there. Let's do the other side, and then we'll flip it over and apply pressure. Be careful not to get glue on the side. But we're just lining it up. Once you have it lined up, we can go ahead and add pressure inside against the table. I just like to use my fingers, the best tools we have, basically. The same thing we're going to do for these sides. So I think I'll do one at a time here. So I get the glue up to the edge, but not over the fold there. So line it up. Just using my thumb to line it up, make sure they line up. Then I can flip it over, add pressure. We'll just have that last piece to glue. So it's pretty simple. If you want to make them smaller, I think they would make a nicer, smaller treat box too. I should have made it in a smaller size. I think about 75% of the size, but I do have instructions on my website if you want to resize them for Cricut and Silhouette. But basically for any machine you use, regardless of whether it's not a Cricut or Silhouette, you usually want to bring everything in at once and proportionally scale it down to the size you want. And whether you do it by numbers or you can do it by eyeball. Some people try to get as many on one sheet of paper to cut them out so they can cut a lot of them. So it's up to you how you want to do that. So we're not going to put this in. So normally you could go like this. There's 2 options here. So as I stated earlier, the very first time that I cut this out, I just put it on top like this. Like that. So it's up to you. If you want to do that, you can, but I think it looks better in that like that. So we're going to put the ears on first. If you kind of want to see where it is. And it's just you want to add a glue to the tip a little bit. I'm going to curl the left one, so let's go ahead and we'll put this one in like that. And then we'll curl this other one just like we see this one curled back like that. I'm going to curl the other one. So I'm just going to curl it back. You could use a dowel or something like this. Just add a little glue to the end. It goes a little bit too far down on that one, but it's gonna look good nonetheless. It could have been up a little higher on that one. Or you don't have to curl them at all, by the way. Then we'll go ahead and add this panel. You want to get it flush down there and just make sure it's lined up on the sides and towards the top. You see, we got the back of the bunny minus the tail and the feet. And we'll go ahead and attach these. So I used, I like it popped up just with foam tape. So we're going to go ahead, let's go ahead and get some foam tape and get those popped up. So I added some foam tape because I know that when it's angled like this, you kind of have to angle it down because you don't want this to hit, this is going to hit the table. So when you place it, you kind of want to be here, but you only want that much glue. So if you're just going to use glue, only put glue on the bottom half. And then down here, the way I'm going to place it, and I know you can't see it, but I'm going to put it so the table, so it's against the edges against the table when I put it on. That'll help me place it. Oops, that's sticky. So let's go ahead. I'm just putting it in an angle what looks good to me. So like that. Honestly, just don't overthink it. And basically, you want it to go, the edge to be around there. But I want it to look funny, so I want it angled a bit. There's one. Do the other just the same way on the, or similar. And it doesn't have to touch the table. I'm just making sure it doesn't. There you go. And the reason I put the foam tape on this is easier for me to see that than it is for me to see where to place it on the back of the tail. So it just goes up like this, and we want it to raise just above this. So only part of it's going to be. So get it centered. There's nothing about perfection here. So that one's a little higher than the other one, which is okay. We got two bunny behind boxes, bunny butt boxes, and they're just really cute to put little treats in it at Easter. I hope you enjoyed this, and I did making it. And if you're wondering, this is done with an embossing folder. So you cut it, emboss it with an embossing folder, and then place it. So I forgot to mention that. So they're slightly different, but they're just a dots version of embossing folders. So I thank you for watching, and until next time.